This is what you need to know about your situation. So what's coming up for it, what's going to happen next, based on your star sign. So we're going to start out with Aries today. So Aries. They are being very emotionally distant with you right now. This person is choosing to kind of pull away. They're choosing to kind of almost like being very brutal with their conversations or brutal with how they act. So they're just saying without thinking, without having a filter. With the Five of Pentacles here, they are focused on their future, their finances, their career, etc. And particularly their own security. So I do feel like they're acting very cold towards you. They're pushing you away. They're acting very kind of almost like arrogant, or just generally not considering how their thoughts or feelings may affect you of what they say. But what's coming up though for you with it? Their negative affirmations, the negative thoughts about love, about relationships, are going to cause some more issues between the two of you. And it's important as you start to feel this pushback from them, you start to feel them being more kind of arrogant, more kind of like negative towards love and towards this connection, that you stand firm. Because I feel like there is a bit of a risk here of you kind of like devolving and saying, okay, I'm just going to listen to what you have to say, what you want, what you need. And realistically here with the Nine of Wands in reverse, you need to disconnect from this. You need to not respond to this. Like, let them go off with their own negative cycles and their negative thoughts. They will eventually come back around, but you can't allow yourself to be dragged down with them. Don't allow yourself to be their punching bag or be somebody that they think it's okay to be nasty to. Stand your ground, be firm, and don't take any crap from them. Because I feel like you are juggling a little bit too much right now, and it isn't fair for you to have to take on their negativity, their negative thoughts. Like I said, I do feel like they are a bit busy in themselves, but that gives no response or no excuse for them to treat you badly. And I feel like that's kind of what's coming up with them treating you a little bit more badly before coming to the realization that they pushed everybody away from them. Unfortunately, it does take some people some time to realise that they are pushing everybody away, they are causing issues that do not need to be there in their life because they feel like everybody else needs to kind of do what they say or do what they want. Like, they've lost that consideration of what other people need, and they've lost the consideration that, yes, you may be going through something, but other people are as well. So, a little bit of a traumatic time, but keep strong and keep focused on your needs, not just theirs. Because I do feel like there's an element here of you being a bit too understanding. And sometimes people need like the harsh reality of being told off, you know. Next up is Taurus. So Taurus, what do you need to know about your situation right now? You are on the right path. You are headed towards the right path here. I feel like both of you are focused on your securities. I almost feel like the person you're dealing with is a little bit nervous, is a little bit worried about what's to come. They want a new start, they want a new beginning here, and they are focused on the long term. This is definitely not somebody that is short-sighted or anything like that. Though, like I said, there is this nervousness, a little bit of reservedness here, which I feel like is causing this, you being a little bit unsure of where things are going. What's happening next with it though? I feel like this is them starting to plan for the long term. I asked, well, are they going to talk to you about the long term? I don't feel like they're going to talk about it, but I feel like they're starting to put in plans in place. They're starting putting things in place to come towards each other. there is this element here of them almost like pulling away, feeling like it's their responsibility. So I feel like they won't come across of having it as a proper conversation, which I kind of wish they would. Like, I feel like this would be a lot healthier for both of you if they would just sit down and have a conversation about it. But they're really choosing not to. They're really choosing to kind of disconnect a little bit right now. And with the Moon card, it is causing a lot of emotional up and downs, both for you and for them. It's never good to be left in the dark by somebody, especially when they're trying to build the future for both of you. There really needs to be improvements in conversations, communication here, but I don't feel like it's going to be their main focus. Their main focus is, I want to plan out a good future with you, so I feel like it's all my responsibility to do that. So I do feel like you're going to have to kind of take them aside or have a word with them and say, look, let's have a conversation about this. It's not just on you, and it's important for me to share my input as well, to make sure we're both having a life that we're going to enjoy, rather than just presuming you're doing the right thing. Because we can presume that somebody wants one thing and they really want something completely different. But we have to kind of take a step out of that, and it gives us a chance to kind of give that rebirth, really see things a little bit more clearly. So, but I feel like over time they will take action towards letting you in more. But I feel like that's an important cornerstone you're having to go through this of, how do I express myself and ask you questions while I'm trying to focus on building up a life for us both. So there we go, Tauruses. So we're going to move on now to Gemini. So Gemini, what is coming up with your situation? What is coming up next with your situation? So how do you both feel about this situation right now? A little bit worthless or unworthy of this, feeling like, oh, you know, I can't have this. I don't feel like it's going to happen for me. Actually is. I feel like this is coming in as justice for you. I do feel like you have been left out in the cold and feeling a little bit lonely, a little bit like, oh, you know, I'm never going to find somebody good. This is almost like reward-like territory. But you're still holding on to the past here. And I feel like I want to say to you, like, you are still holding on to the past. Yes, they are a little bit as well, but I feel like heavily you are holding on to past situations, and it's making you feel a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, or I'm not sure if it's going to go well because of all these other negative past situations. With the Seven of Pentacles here, though, you are manifesting, you are creating this amazing new reality for yourself, but you haven't quite purged that out. I feel like next there is going to be a little bit of a purging here. This is you removing those blockages of holding on to old situations, old things that happened, old negative influences, old negative behaviours. You're having to let go of that first before you can step into this fully. So there's a little bit of spring cleaning here, you know. There is going to be some like improvements with finances, with money, but I feel like the risk here is that you'll kind of overspend, overenjoy yourself, overindulge. But I feel like actually, as long as you keep to the path of not overindulgence, this will really help you with this romantic relationship going forward to build the kind of dream life that you want together without that financial pressure, or at least not as bad as a financial pressure. With the King of Cups here, I do feel like this is quite an emotional connection. So this is them starting to bear their emotions more, be more vulnerable with you, and just generally be more emotionally supportive. So yes, there has to be a part on your part, like this little bit of purging out, removing of the old negative emotions to do with love from the old negative relationships. There is that purging out, working things through. But overall, this is quite positive for you, because this is allowing you to kind of really head forward in a whole new direction, a whole new visible output. So I do feel like, though, here with the King of Cups, this is them make you an offer. This is them kind of not getting all gooey, but definitely making more practical offers. And I do feel like it's more to do with their confidence and stress that they have surrounding confessing their feelings. So I feel like they're a little bit nervous to fully just be really gooey, really romantic. But I feel like over time they will start to express that more. It's more like in the acts of service, doing things for you, being there for you, etc., that they're gonna focus on. But there's definitely like confessions of love and confessions of how they feel. I just feel like it won't be as lovey-dovey as you'd expect. So maybe not in the normal stereotypical way, but this is them trying to kind of show you that they do value you and they do love you. So that was Geminis. We're going to move on now to Cancers. So Cancers, how is your next situation? So what is coming up next in your next situation? And how just generally do you feel about each other right now? So you feel like this person is starting to take it more seriously. They're starting to take action. I feel like there is a little bit of reluctance here. Like they're reluctantly starting to take action. They're reluctantly starting to commit. A lot of reluctance here. But I feel like this is because you started to speak of your negative thoughts or your negative feelings about how you're worried about this, how you weren't sure where it was going. There is an element here of you choosing to communicate about it, choosing to talk about it. And I feel like actually this is going to be prosperous for you in the long run. Especially with the Ace of Cups here. This is very much you focused on the long term. Your long-term stability, where you're going, what you're doing from now. And I feel like more than anything with the Ace of Pentacles here, this is you starting to get balance back in. So you're starting to understand balance. You're starting to get to a point where you can feel balanced, etc. So there's definitely an element here of like, I'm starting to get more balance in. I'm starting to get better balance in my life. And with the King of Wands here, I feel like this is better communication as well. So definitely going through this kind of like momentum of we're getting more balance in. We're understanding how to juggle the different things, not just our emotions, but the rest of our life as well. And they're starting to kind of communicate with you better because they do value you a lot. I feel like there is this reluctance around commitment, and it's a little bit to do with like they have some sort of mental kind of issues with it of going, I feel like I never really make people happy, or I feel like it never really goes in the right direction, that kind of thing. So there is some sort of barriers there a little bit, which is causing some confusion of going, well, if you want to be with me, then be with me. Why have you got to second guess it? But that is a little bit of an issue for them that they're working through. It's still something that they haven't quite grasped the concept of how do we kind of balance things out, how do we understand it. So I'm going to go on now to the next one, which is Leos. So Leos, what is coming up next in this situation? So how are they feeling about you right now as well? They feel like there's a really strong connection here with you. They do want to make an offer and come towards you, but I feel like there is this fear. I don't want to say reluctance. This isn't reluctance, Leo. This is very much like, I want to come towards you, but I'm worried. Like, they are a little bit wounded here. They are a little bit hurt, and it's making them a little bit nervous, a little bit afraid of what will happen. They're kind of scared of losing you. Because it's almost like a mentality of like, you have my heart on your sleeve, you know. This is definitely though this person values you a lot, really wants to be with you. But there is issues with communication. How do I communicate with you? How do I express that you are special to me? I almost feel like this person feels like they need to make amends to you. Like either literally they've done something that they should be making amends to, or they just feel like they should be making amends to you. Like I've treated you badly. I could understand if you never want to speak to me. Some of you, this is just them being overreactive, but some of you, they do actually need to make amends to you. They are coming in with something like, I do value you, but I feel like part of them thinks that there isn't going to be a future here. And this is more to do with them feeling like there's no way you'll want me back, or there's no way you'll want to be with me. Like, I've lost my chance with you. There's no way this could work because there's no way you'd want to be with me. They're telling themselves all the time there's no possible way you could possibly want to be with me. And I don't feel like that's true. I feel like actually you can create a new beginning here and something worthwhile. But there is this fear in their eyes. So understand, if they are coming across a little bit nervous, a little bit shy, it's because of this fear. It's because they don't feel like they can kind of really offer what they should be offering. So there is an element here of being pulled back, being pushed back. And it is causing some issues and some problems here. So understand that, you know, it is a little bit more on the difficult suit of things. But with the Five of Cups here, there is security here. There is offers of security. And there is offer of trying to move things forward in positive momentum. So that was Leo. We're going to move on now, which is onto Virgo. So Virgo, what is coming up next in your situation? So how are they feeling about you in general right now? And what's coming next? They're feeling a little bit like here with the 10 of Wands here, that there's almost like too many obligations, too many issues in life. They're feeling very insecure. I do feel like this is leaving them to be pulled back from you at the moment because they're feeling like they're so overwhelmed. They have too much going on. They have too many obligations. Like, I don't have time for this. But what is hidden is the fact that they do actually want to come towards you. Like, they don't actually want to pull away from you. It's almost like they're kind of being forced to by their situation. They are dealing with a lot of sadness right now, though. While they're trying to battle with this. This is definitely somebody who's overwhelmed, though. But they will start communicating with you again when they have time to kind of enjoy themselves, to have fun. This is almost like weeks or months. For some of you, it's just going to be weeks. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be months down the line of them having to kind of battle through this and then get themselves to more of a stable position. So there is a lot of obligations that's holding themselves back. But eventually, I feel like they're going to have to deal with this like insecurities first, but eventually they will come back around. Just understand they're not going to be the kind of person that you normally would want them to be or you normally expect them to be because they are so overwhelmed. They definitely do not want to forget you or do not want to live without you or anything like that. I just don't feel like they have a choice right now. So instead they're being very kind of cold, aloof, and it's because they're so distracted by the other obligations they have in their life to do with career and finances, and also some of you as well, like their friends groups as well. But they feel like they're so overwhelmed they can't possibly come towards you yet. Like I said, I feel like this is like a late bloomer kind of situation. That one wanted to come out, so we're going to take it. We've got the Two of Swords here. They want to speak the truth, but they really can't right now. They don't feel like they can kind of fully explain to you how things are overwhelming for them, how things are going for them. So it's almost like the light in their eyes have kind of gone out a little bit right now, and they don't really know how to move forward. So understand that this is going to be a bit stagnant until everything gets sorted. Alright, we're going to move on now to Libras. So, Libras, how is your situation going? How is your person at the moment? And what's the next thing that's going to happen with it? What's the next thing going to happen with it? So, how are they feeling about you right now? Like they've lost you, like they've missed out on you. They are trying to plan and plot of how to come towards you, how to build something up. And they do want communication here. I feel like they are being a bit reserved right now. They're kind of being a bit quiet, being held back. But they do want to have these conversations with you. But they're more in the planning stages of like, what should I do next? Where should I go next? How should I go next with this? What's going to come up with it though? They are going to come towards you. It's a little bit out of focus right now. Like they don't know how to move towards you. And the communication is going to be a bit on and off because they don't know how to. But they are trying to invest into this. I feel like more than anything, they're going to try almost like use materialistic ways, trying to like pamper you, trying to come close to you. But I feel like this person just doesn't know how to communicate that they do want you and they do want to be with you in a way that would make you desire them. Basically, they feel almost like that they aren't desirable to you, that you wouldn't want them, but they are going to work hard to make that happen, to make themselves more desirable for you. So this is somebody who's going to work quite hard to kind of win you over. Though there is this pause there, though there is this kind of like, I'm pulling back, having it on pause, and then coming towards you. So I'm going to have a look now at Scorpios. So Scorpios, how does the person feel about you? How does this person think or feel about you right now? And what is the next situation to happen? How do they feel or think about you right now? They feel like that, like the connection isn't that good, but they feel like that they haven't lost you completely. Like they do feel like it can be salvaged. There is a little bit of a laziness here. Like they feel like, well, I can salvage this, I can work it out, but they don't feel like they need to kind of put 101% in. Like they feel like they can just kind of mediocre try. So there is issues with communication here. I feel like communication is going to slowly improve, but it's almost like they feel like, well, you know, I know things aren't going well with us, but I can fix this. It can be fixed whenever we need to. What's the reaction, next actions though? There's like a nonchalantness of it, though, that I don't like, of them going, well, when I need you, you'll be waiting. They will come towards you, and I feel like this is after they feel like, oh my god, like there's a panic. This is almost like they see you, or they think that you are going off with somebody else instead. Like they think that you've given up on them, or they think you're getting a better option from somebody else. Then the panic sets in. Then they panic and go, oh my god, I'm losing you. I'm not going to have you anymore. I'm missing out on this, or I'm going to miss out on this. So when this panic starts to kind of creep in, that's when they're going to come back around. That's when they're going to try and approach you. So they need to almost be like, put the fear of God into them first, of losing you, and then they're going to take more action. But until then, it's going to be like a bit of a burden of like them only putting in a mediocre amount of effort. You're not really being satisfied by it. So by all means, like, feel free to kind of just carry on with your life, you know, date or whatever. Because I feel like that they won't realise that they're losing you until it's like almost too late. Like you are starting to date other people, or you're starting to move on with your life in general. So as soon as they think that they've lost you, that's when they're going to panic and actually put the effort in. So this is more somebody who has gotten complacent and got used to the idea that they can just, you know, they can make this work whenever they want, on their schedule kind of mentality, which is quite childish, I've got to admit, but they will want to kind of work this out eventually. But you've got to be demanding of what you desire and what you deserve, you know. So Sagittarius, what's coming up in your situation? To begin with though, how do they feel about you? How do they feel about you right now? They're missing out, like they're losing out, and they know it's because they can't speak up, and they know they need to speak up to you, but they're not doing that self-improvement here. They know they need to kind of express themselves better to you, be able to speak up better to you, be able to kind of bring this around so you can have better connections, but they don't really know how to, and they're not willing to go off and do the self-improvement necessary, whether it's reading books or whether it's just talking to you. They're not willing to do that self-improvement. You will have fun and adventure with them again, but they're not taking action right now, and it's causing issues with communication. It's slowing everything down. What's the next actions though? They're going to disconnect a little bit, and I feel like that they won't really have much to offer to begin with. I feel like this is almost like things will get worse before they get better. And I feel like it's almost like an element here of like, they'll stop kind of trying to work on this, trying to connect with you. and then things will get better as they kind of realize, you know what, things will probably be a lot more fun if we start connecting again, if we spend time together again. And they have this wake-up call that, hang on a second, to make a relationship work, I need to work on it. So they need to have that wake-up call first. But I feel like, unfortunately, things are going to get worse before they get better, with them being a bit lazy and not really wanting to properly work on this, properly put the effort in. So we're going to go on now to the next one, which is Capricorn. So Capricorn, what you need to know today, how are you thinking, and how's this person thinking and feeling, and what's the next situation to happen? They don't feel like there's movement forward right now with you. Like, everything has slowed down, everything has stopped. They want to talk this through though, and they want to communicate. They are quite reserved about this. I almost feel like they'd like, well, how do I put this in a way that I can let you know that I still want to be with you, but I don't understand how to fix this or how to move things forward. It's definitely that they want to stay with you, but they don't know how to kind of create that spark again. They are spending some time planning in secret. Because ultimately they are afraid that if they just let this dwindle, let this romance die, then eventually you'll disconnect from them, or eventually you'll go off in your own direction. They do want to keep this connection alive. I feel like it's going to take a week or two, up to a month, for them to actually start having ideas of how to spice things up. I feel like this is going to be small at first, them trying to improve the connection, trying to improve the passion. But they are willing to invest into this. They are definitely willing to invest into this because they do really want to move forward with this. They do really want to connect. I just feel like there's a little bit of nervousness of, I don't really know how to do it. I don't really know how to improve things, but I know I want it to work. I know I want to be with you. So it's definitely not a lack of want. It's more of a lack of, I don't really know how to, it's inexperience. So we're going to move on now to Aquarius. So Aquarius, what is coming up in your situation, and how does this person feel about you? Thinking, how does this person feel about you right now? This person is definitely flipped upside down by you. Like, you flip me up and upside down. I don't feel like I have much you would value. I don't feel like I have much you would value, but I enjoy being with you. So this person enjoys being around you, but doesn't really feel like they can give you much. And that's why they're keeping a little bit more quiet. It's almost like a mentality of I don't want to miss out on a good thing. I don't want to mess up a good thing. They're not taking action towards you because of that right now, because they don't want to mess things up. But how will they be going forward? They'll definitely take things very slowly and be worried about taking action. And it's all because they're quite indecisive. I feel like with this person, Aquarius, you're going to have to take the lead. As much as I feel like you don't want to, you need to help them to kind of build up that self-esteem first, and the realization of that they do deserve you, that things are going well, like you are going to want to be with them. I feel like once they get their confidence up, then they will make a move. But their confidence just isn't at the kind of level it demands it to, you would demand it to be, or you need it to be to really progress this forward. So understand this is more to do with their own kind of worries and fears about that they are not good enough, they cannot achieve things, they cannot provide a good life, that kind of thing. Not to do with like them not wanting to be with you. They definitely do. They definitely enjoy you, enjoy being with you, but there's almost a mentality of like, I don't want to screw this up. So they are very slow to react, very slow to take action. So we're going to go on now to Pisces. So Pisces, what is coming up in your situation, and what is generally like their next actions, their thoughts, their feelings? The Eight of Pentacles here, they are trying to invest into you. Like, they see you as an investment for the future. Like, they really see this as long term. But they aren't moving forward yet. This is because they have communication issues. They're not very good at speaking about their feelings. I feel like other aspects of their life they are well, so they can talk to friends and business colleagues, that kind of thing, family. But when it comes to love, they just are inexperienced. But with the Three of Pentacles here, they do want it to make it work. They are like learning how to kind of improve that. Like they're in this stage of learning how to communicate better, learning how to connect better. And communication will definitely improve in the future. They will be testing things out though as you go forward. So they'll have a conversation with you and try and judge your reaction. And if it's good, they'll carry on and more and more and more, and it'll slowly build up. But yeah, there is this general, like, I don't feel like I know how to be in a relationship right now. I don't feel like I know how to connect with people in that way right now. But they are desperately trying to improve things. So this feels like over time, because it's a lack of inexperience, like they are inexperienced, over time they will get better and better at expressing themselves, communicating with you to really create that grounded connection. Alright, I hope that helps you out, and I will see you again soon.